All right. So up next, we are playing the blue-red Arclight Phoenix deck that Miriam actually won the Open in Baltimore with. This is just card for card his Open winning list. Let's just go ahead and dive into a league here. We played him that was kind of close to this with a small green splash last week on stream, and it felt really good. So I'm interested in seeing how this this more efficient build that's very streamlined performs. This archetype, I've actually been farming data. Hey, Turkin, thanks for the 9-month resub in the tier 3 at that. Welcome back. This archetype was actually the single best performing archetype between the Modern Grand Prix, the Team Grand Prix, and the Invitational this past weekend. So I think Arclight Phoenix is probably here to stay. It's doing something pretty objective and pretty powerful. What time do I plan to go offline? I have no idea offhand. I think I plan to do this league and then get cards to play Blue-Black Fairies and play one more. Witty sub-message. Damage, thank you for the 35 months. It's almost 3 years. That's almost an entire deck lane. Thank you for the tier 3 at that. I appreciate it. I already earned the Blue, Jin, Tempo, Risk Factor, Phoenix, and Pirates that you played. 4th deck recommendation. The blue-black mid-range deck we played the other day was pretty sweet, and if you have Pirates, you're probably not far off of building it. So if you want something that's more mid-range and controlling, I'd recommend checking out that deck that we played. This hand seems pretty sweet. Has to get back in time to get Jake off the bus, right? Jake's actually homesick again today. I feel really bad that, like, hey, this trip's been planned for, like, months, obviously, right? But, like, my kids got sick the day before I left and, like, have been sick all weekend for Christy. So I'm choosing to play the land tapped here rather than playing a cantrip on one because I already have the second land in my hand and my hand's set up pretty well. So I want to play these cards that draw cards, post Thing in the Ice to try and get counters off of it. Tech Edge, Talisman of Dominance. Could be some kind of Tezzeret artifact deck, but could also be Blue Tron. Do you like Hollowed One at the moment? I think it's fine. It's like a deck that's doing like objectively powerful and linear things. Arclight Phoenix is like a Delver that costs 0. That's an interesting way to think about it. It's also like a very aggressive card, right? Which is appealing. Likely Bluetron. Repeal is strongly indicates Bluetron. Would really like to draw an untapped land here, which are all of our lands. Would just like to draw land in general. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and play the Thing in the Ice here. I'm going to go ahead and cast Serum Visions, my cantrip of choice. Work towards a 4th land and some copies of Phoenix here, potentially, I think are what we're looking for. I think I'm in for both of these, actually. I can go top. It's like more cantrips. Deck just like Xeroxes through. This microphone makes it sound like we're listening to an interview with you on a satellite phone. It's very interesting. Yeah, so I originally had planned to just use the microphone that was built into the laptop, and then like I saw this headset when I was like stocking up on food at the grocery store next to the hotel, and like it sounded marginally better than the built-in microphone laptop. I didn't pack a carry-on. I just went with my bag that I had, so I didn't want to pack a nice microphone to fly with. So they have Engineered Explosives to kill my Thing in the Ice here, but they missed their land drop last turn, which means that them blowing this Engineered Explosive is like actually pretty good for me because it gets rid of their Talisman of Dominance. So this is going to go ahead and flip my Thing in the Ice here, which is why I'm doing this before I play the Swiftspear, because obviously if I flip the Thing in the Ice, the Swiftspear will come back to my hand. So a little bit of anti-synergy there, but not really a big deal. We're still pretty far ahead at the moment, especially with the Crackling Drake in hand. So we'll attack for 8 here, and I assume we'll see the Engineered Explosive, pull the trigger, and get rid of the Swiftspear. Yeah, that's fine. They got rid of their own mana source. Can the Neo bars be meal replacements or only a snack? They're more of a snack / supplement. They're only 90 calories for the bar of Pythrion, so they are definitely not designed to be full meal replacements. I always forget how the stupid CMC stuff works with Flippy Doos. Well, that's because they changed it partway, right? So, like, it used to be that the CMC was 0 on the backside for everything, and now it's whatever the converted mana cost is on the front side.
But if you Phantasmal image something that's transformed, because the image doesn't have a backside, it's CMC 0.
Really?
Yeah, I learned that yesterday.
That's good, clean living. Okay.
Just very intuitive Magic rules.
I just play Crackling Drake.
Yeah, I probably would.
Just, like, kill them quickly. Because, like, the thing in there is going to take a hot second to flip over.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, you can pretty easily dig for Phoenix's next turn, pitch these things, and just... You might be able to just kill them next turn.
This thing basically has prowess. It's like permanent prowess.
And you're looking at minimum 11 damage, just from what's in hand.
Will Ross have a primer for this blue-red Phoenix deck on SCG?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I've written about it twice now. Once about like the genesis behind it and why Crackling Drake is good, and then last week I had an article about just how to play with the cantrips, which is a huge portion of just playing the deck.
So, like, cumulatively, you basically have a primer?
Yeah. There's an early sideboard guide in the...
Oh, alright, so they're, like, deader than a doornail?
Yeah, this is 14.
You counted that very quickly.
Well, I knew we already had 11 before we drew the gut shot, and the gut shot's 3 damage. Prowess, pumping Drake, and 1 to them.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I reduced it to an already solved problem.
I reduced it to an already solved problem. They're dead, right? Well, that's the great part about Magic Online. I just cast my spells, and then Magic Online tells me if they're dead or not.
Here's the thing about Crackling Drake. You know, it has a lot of text on it.
Yep.
So, what it really says is blue, blue, red, red, suspend 1, win the game.
Suspend 1, win the game. Ooh, I found some candy.
You actually get to return the Phoenix this time.
Yeah, I do.
That's lucky.
Still have all these.
Look how big Monastery Swiftspear is.
No, stop it. I have more gut shots. Opponent, come back. Bring your crappy blue Tron lands and come back.
I've learned from playing against real Tron that if they don't Tron by turn 5, they die.
Yep. So, Dispel and Spell Pierce seem fine?
I don't think the Dispel is going to be that good.
They play Repeal and Counterspells?
Yeah, but I think they're going to be boarding down on some of those. And
that's fair.
Like, I'm less concerned with countering those cards and more concerned with countering the threats, which are rejection hits.
Okay.
I think, and you can't have too many counterspells.
Yeah, because you need to be proactive with your stuff.
I'm not sure how good Abrade is. I'd probably just bring in Alpine Moon.
Yeah, because we're an aggro deck, so we can get under them if we like make them stumble for a hot second.
It's not as good against them. They can just like repeal it. They're not trying to Tron super quickly.
So Lightning Axe is pretty bad.
Yeah, Gut Shot's pretty bad.
Can you cut all the gut shots, or you need to keep some amount of?
Sometimes you keep some in if like you don't have things to bring in, but you can cut them all and be fine.
Okay. So, like just Manamorphose enough free stuff because we have so many 1-mana spells. I guess that like this you can. Okay.
Like, you're not going to get like the turn 2 Phoenix draws as often, but you don't need those against this deck.
Yeah, seems fine. Yeah, I don't think Abrade's very good here. Like they don't play like a bunch of Oblivion Stones or anything like that.
Yeah.
And like by the time they're Mind Slavery, you're probably dead if you haven't killed them at that point.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength there. Sand is not good.
But what if I'm really lucky?
I think this deck does not mulligan that well. See, like, I just bottom that.
But think of the greed, Ross. So if I bottomed that, I had 4 more looks to get to a land. I'm giving myself a 5th here. Well, technically, I even have like this too. This is why Ross got 16th in the Invitational, and I went 4-4.
I only went 5-3 in Modern.
Did you play this?
Yeah. I changed 2 cards from my Baltimore list, 2 sideboard cards.
Uh-oh. Look at the conservative play, giving us an extra look at a land. All right. Needed every look. See, Ross knew. He's in tune.
You're pretty good at finding the things you need to like do stuff as long as you function.
Yep.
But if you have to sit there and like spend all your cantrips just to find lands, then you play your Thing of the Ice at the end. It gets awkward.
Yep.
Even at land 3, we're good. Got another remand for his opponent. Maybe a Condescend.
Well, it's much better that these get remanded than the Crackling Drake, right?
Yeah, that's fine. They're just getting pretty close to Tron.
Why isn't Jeff shouting today? I'm actually talking at the exact same level I always talk when I'm at home.
I would opt on the Send Step.
Yep. Oh, they hit Tron.
Yeah, they did. Well, now I would just kill that thing.
Yep. Thanks for being real and making people think for themselves. What's going on, Union Private? I appreciate the 4 months. Welcome back.
Why did they leave mana up for a Thirst for Knowledge or something, or another counterspell?
Yeah, probably like a Condescend or something like that.
Stupid Izzet Charm. I really hate this card, but it does like just enough for me to keep playing one.
It was funny. One of the guys in my hotel room played this deck this weekend, and every time he tried to tell anybody anything about their deck list, we're like, "Shut up! You're registering Izzet Charm in Modern." I realize it's sunlight, but I'm so unused to seeing Jeff not in his basement that I assume him and Ross are lit by candlelight.
We're not even getting that much sunlight. I've got the shade closed.
Assembles Tron, plays a 2/2, just blue Tron things. Did I just go like Thing into cantrip here?
Yeah, that's what I do. Pretty worried that they're just gonna kill us with something. I don't really know what the blue Tron deck plays. Every list I see, well, I would opt now.
What if I had a land? Oh, should I have Faithless Looting?
No, I would have just passed. The 4th land here isn't worth much, and you don't know what they're doing. I would just wait and react. Now I'd keep the 4th land because next turn it'll be worth something. So I guess that kind of worked out.
See, bad plays are fine when you're lucky.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what we're supposed to be doing. I've never played this matchup, and every time I look at a blue Tron list, it has like 17 one-ups because of the mages that they play. In
my experience, the only time the blue Tron deck ever does anything worthwhile, it's because it like assembled Tron quickly and then with like a bad green Tron deck.
Yeah.
Occasionally they like Mind Slaver you and you're like, oh, that's cute. That was a good use of your 10 mana. Just like play Drake.
I think I would just play Thing and hold up the Izzet Charm in case they do something crazy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because they could like they could Mind Slaver us next turn.
It kicked me out of Discord. Hope this doesn't take away my shoes. Sarah, thanks for the 4 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it.
Thing also much better against
3rd remand. Yep. 4th remand? That was 3rd. Yeah, that was a repeal.
Yeah. They keep not letting us have a Thing in the Ice. Yeah, they're probably condescending it. Yep. We're getting worked over in this game.
Yep. We were on the draw and didn't have anything too quick.
When you have that Tron 2 thing, they've just had a million.
You're ignoring how much fun it is to cast blue cards instead of green cards. I mean, wanting to play cards that are terrible is like half the reason people play half the cards they register in Modern, right?
Yeah, we might be dead.
I played Amulet in the LCQ and lost in the semis. That's close. Alright, I'm just going to move along with my life here. How am I doing today? I'm doing swell. Doing okay. Roanoke cleared a lot of the snow faster than I thought they might. Hopefully it doesn't... It's supposed to get below freezing again tonight, so hopefully the roads aren't too bad tomorrow morning when I get to the airport early. Reaching Yoshi, I'm at work and should probably be lesson planning during my free period, but my brain is fried. What's going on? Thanks for the 15 months there. Thanks for the Bezo bucks. All right. Let's have an aggressive start in the play. Can you keep this?
Yeah.
I think so, right? Just like Thing into Thing cantrip?
Yeah, I'd probably fetch for an island with the Delta first.
Yep.
Just to get one of the fetches out of the way. Oh, I would play the Visions.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not in the market for like holding the cantrips. You'll find them.
Okay, because the deck's just like mono cantrips?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm committed at this point. That's good. That's good advice.
there are like certain spots, especially with Arclight, that like maybe I'll do it for a turn. And now you're not even you're probably just gonna go Thing Hold Up Spell Pierce now.
Yeah, that's actually really true.
They could just brown us with turn 3 Tron here.
Which member?
And Island go. Oh wow, they.
Okay, so now that they... Oh, huh. Well, now I just do this, right?
I would still just hold up the Pierce, I think, and just moon them next turn.
You think so?
Yeah, they'd have to have natural Tron to like do anything with it, right? Otherwise, they're just gonna have 2 mana up.
Yeah, but like, what are they going to cast next turn rather than cracking the map? Shouldn't I just use my mana?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, yeah, because like they're not going to map till our end of turn anyways, and you always want to make sure when they have 2 of the 3 Tron pieces in play when you play Moon that you name the Tron piece that's not already out. Because remember, this fixes the mana because it's a well-designed card. Doesn't screw people. So they have Power Plant Tower, so I'll name mine here. What's this new Neo sponsor granola bars? They are protein bars. Protein bars that have a little bit of a chocolate kick to them. They're really good. Have a good crunch texture to them too that I like. Because like even if they had like another Dismember here, like Spell Pierce doesn't prevent that.
Yeah. That's a good draw.
Trippin'. Nice, fangirl. Yeah, if you're someone... That's pretty good. Am I bottoming that?
I think so. You just don't have cards you want to discard.
Yeah, and like I want to play the lands, that way I can leave the Spell Pierce up.
Yep. So
Stop like a repeal or something.
I think I would make blue off the second Manamorphose, because you're more likely to draw another cantrip than a red card you want to cast.
That's fair. Rude.
Wow. Okay. Guess we'll just pass.
Yeah, sorry, to complete my thought, if you're someone that has been thinking about getting into Modern or Legacy or anything on Magic Online, the panic sale over the weekend dumped a lot of the prices low, so it's definitely a buyer's market. So, the people that think Magic Online is going somewhere sometime soon are, like, pretty unrealistic. Magic Online is here for the foreseeable future. Like, I'd estimate 5 to 10 years or more, even if they wanted to get Modern and Legacy into Arena. Thanks for helping me slack off at work. Thanks for the 3 months, Skull Clamp MTG.
I'm slacking off at work too.
Covern, thanks for the biddies. I appreciate that. I'll get that added to the deck queue after the stream today. Thanks for the support.
Switch for River of Tears. What black cards are they casting?
Dismember. Look, man, don't question what Blue Trout players do. Just don't do it. Will you play mono blue things? So if you're not familiar with my stream, basically everything I play here are viewer-submitted deck lists. If you're interested in getting your deck played on stream at some point in the future, be sure to check out bit.ly/HoogleSellout. You can also find the deck submission page on my website, jeffoakland.com. I think the one thing that's going to be interesting to see from a Moto economy standpoint is that since Standard's being pushed towards Arena, I think there's a very real chance that, what's what I'm searching for, that Standard staples become a little bit more expensive. I pierce this, right? Do I care? I probably don't actually, right?
It's just like, how relevant is the Pierce going to
Be
like,
moving forward?
Eventually they're just going to like repeal the Alpine Moon, right? And you can't really pierce that.
And it's just like stop their selection?
Yeah, I think I would pierce it.
Yeah, I think it's a good suggestion.
Dispel might just be better in this matchup than I thought it was. Although we haven't drawn a rejection yet, and I'd be like, pretty happy to draw one right now.
Is there a way to play free games on Magic Online? Hey, HR Danny, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, there's 4 fun rooms on Magic Online that you can play in, but much like Artifact, there's no way to play Magic Online for prizes without putting more dollar dues in.
Blue again. Your red cards aren't that relevant.
Vision.
First. You're just trying to set up your draws for the next 2 turns. It's
That's
not
fair.
like you're really digging hard for a rejection. I would keep that bolt because they're at 16. So you just kill them next turn.
Look at you. Look at you. This is why we imported Miriam. This is why I moved this deck up.
That bolt.
Okay.
The chart.
This is why I moved this deck up to today. So our results would be better. We had a professional with us here.
You're talking to chat. That's like bolt is definitely not a card you're actively searching for in this matchup.
But like in this position, it's good because it puts lethal on board.
Yeah, those are the kind of things you miss when you're streaming and you're talking to chat. And like, oh wait, he is a 16.
When Standard Plus, aka Postmodern, comes to Arena, will you be accepting deck lists immediately? Yes, 100%. I'm going to be going deep on that format. I think it sounds really, really sweet, and it's going to have a big draw. Oh, if I would have kept the bolt, we'd have killed him through that. Jeez, and I thought I just like talked about how we were bringing a professional in, and now we're here, chat.
Oh god, now they found a worm coil.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, so I chart a course pre-combat to try and hit a bolt since we bottomed that other one.
Yeah, or a rejection. Another thing in the ice. But we're so far away from transforming it. We could like go thing, bolt the treasure mage, and
I think that's the line. Just like hope to chain cantrips.
I kind of want to just
put the. Okay, yeah. If I ditch the land and if I keep the Drake comes down next turn and kills them through Wormcoil.
Yeah, I think so. I think I would ditch the land, bolt the treasure mage, get them to 2.
Yep.
Let them play the Wormcoil and then play Crackling Drake and hope they don't have another answer.
Yep. They're actually like pretty light on answers, right?
Yeah. I guess like they could have a repeal on the Drake, but that just buys them a turn. Like,
Mr. Photon petition to only use snow-covered lands the rest of the day. That takes a lot of work. Swapping through that Magic Online is tedious. I have a really hard time against green-black with your Grixis Phoenix deck. Any suggestions? You're talking about in Standard? One of the things that's tough and interesting about the Standard format is that there's a lot of variety in the deck list. So, like, I'm not even sure, like, which green-black deck you're talking about, right? Because, like, there's a lot of different ones. Like, the bigger green-black decks are better for the Grixis Phoenix deck in Standard than, like, the smaller ones. Okay. So they must have another land then, right?
Yeah. Which they needed to cast the Wormcoil anyway. But this just like lets them do that.
Do the Alpine Moon too, yep.
Which is a lot worse for us, because now they have a ton of mana when they untap.
Yep.
Man, I feel really stupid for bottoming that bolt.
Alright, so now I'm just going to do this, I think, and try and find the bolt to kill them.
One's on the bottom, that's so unlikely. Like, what are they going to have to deal with the Crackling Drake? Repeal? But that only buys them a turn.
Mindslaver? Yeah, I guess I just cast the Drake. We're pretty dead to Mindslaver. Or draw the bolts here, and I'm going to tilt off. Oh, we'd have gotten more looks. We'd have had so many looks.
It's just one of the same. It literally doesn't change from the opt. Bottom Manamorphose.
Could you see Magic Online moving to a subscription model? I'd be pretty surprised if they ever did anything that drastic, Brian Russ. Like the amount of like development time they'd have to dedicate to like change the entire economy model of Magic Online, and like the things they'd have to do to like make up for changing it to people that are already invested in it is kind of nuts. Oh, I forgot to update the Stream Decker list. Let me do that really quick. You have to look at ads while I do that because I only have one monitor though, so. The sponsors like when I have to do this, so enjoy the sponsor page for half a second.
They brought in Tormund Script.
Well, that's good for us. Oh no! Don't make my Drake small! Oh no! Oh no. This is what I get for making fun of them. Alright, would I have got there? Would I have drawn the ball? I would have drawn the ball, Ross! I would have drawn the ball! Damn it, Ross!
You never look!
Damn it, Ross! I would have drawn the bolt.
You never look. Well, that's an embarrassing match.
Listen, I'm going to need you to brush up on your Blue Tron matchup for next time.
I'll do that. I'll be sure to do that.
Well, no, the bolt wasn't good there, chat. So like they were going to attack us with the Worm Coil, and the bolt was no longer good. But I could have opted the previous turn to hit the bolt for lethal the previous turn rather than play the Drake.
Well, they were gonna Ugin -4, and then we could have like played the Thing in the Ice, and then Manamorphosed, and then opted, and then bolted the Ugin, and had a Thing on 1 against the Worm Coil, but they would have been an 8, and then we could have like drawn into a Rejection, and then another spell to bounce it, and then counter it on the way back down, and kill them with the 7/8 before they ever draw any other relevant card.
Oh gosh.
Very unlikely to win that game, but not 0%. Perfectly fine with that concession. This hand is mediocre, but a keep. We have to hope they're not a creature deck, so the Swiftspear is good, although we have Gutshot if they're a creature deck.
Hopefully they're a creature deck that dies to Gutshot.
Yeah. All the creature decks die to Gutshot. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay.
They're a turn 1 tap Sacred Foundry deck, which
probably means the Gutshot's not good.
Yeah, maybe. A weird Jeskai hand. Does Jeskai even play a Sacred Foundry still? I think they usually have one.
Yeah, they usually have one of each at least. 2 Steam Vents. Never listen to Russ again. Oh, Mardu. Okay.
Oh, Mardu too.
So I'm gonna fetch a basic island.
Yeah.
Get the shuffle out of the way before we scry. Do I want a Morphose here? I probably want to hold the Morphose in case I find a Phoenix on the discard spell, right?
Yeah, I think I would hold it. I think I would opt first, because we're setting up rather than digging for a specific card.
Okay.
So then we want the scry at the end. Yeah, this was the one thing that punishes us. But if they had a bolt, they should have used it on their turn.
That's true. Okay, yeah, that's true. So if we would have let in Serum Visions, we could have opt plus Gutshotted to save this, but the flip side is, like, if they have a bolt for removal spell, they probably should have done on their turn. Hey, Riviera, thank you for the 9-month resub and the tier 3 at that. I appreciate that support. Be sure to drop a submission through the forum if there's a new deck you'd like to add to the queue with that, or if there is a deck already in the queue you'd like to bump up, drop me a message. We're just looking for threats, right?
Yep.
And Visions, because I want to set up for next turn.
Yep.
Perfect.
Threats. Let's keep those.
And I want to draw a Thing in the Ice next turn.
Now I feel pretty good. Basic Plains. You know what card Thing in the Ice is good against?
Lingering Souls?
Yeah. They're probably pretty good at killing Thing in the Ice.
I am streaming from Roanoke, Virginia, in Ross Merriam's apartment. He is kind enough to share his couch and his broadband internet with me for the day.
Yep.
Read. That's fine. The Drake, I guess these like stall a Drake for a little bit, but it's like not that big of a deal. They like the Drake also stops them from attacking, which is nice. And like maybe if they get greedy and like quad block, we got shot and like make them sad.
I would not opt here since we know the top card.
Okay. Just like end up getting more selection with it by holding on to it.
Yeah, Drake's just playing defense here anyway.
Happy Twitch, baby. Lomas Love, thank you for the 9 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. The old no zoom risky click on Magic Online fetch land.
Perfect.
Temple of Tilt, Temple of Tilt, do 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 do. They could adopt Austin Collins as their son and live together. I think my family in Illinois would probably not appreciate that. That's a Magic the Gathering card. It doesn't really give them profitable attacks here, though.
I mean, we're at 13.
That's true. If they smash with everything, we're Gutshotting.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Just hoping to save it for a Pyrants, but at this point it's clear they don't have one.
And, like, we're going to be set up to kill this on the backswing here unless they have a Fatal Push. And if they had Fatal Push, they would have done a pre-combat with the fetch land.
Yep. So now we're going to 7, but then with 2 power once we kill the Sorin.
Do they have a Bolt? It's unfortunate.
Yeah, maybe that was a bad block. But then we're like dead to the Bolt when we try to kill the Sorin.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. I think I just have to kill these tokens, right?
We're at 7. I'm more concerned about killing the Sorin, which we do with some combination of Bolts and Phoenixes. We need to draw real well to have that happen.
Wait, what?
There was a Serum Visions.
Oh, I was like, where'd my card go?
You left on top, right?
Yeah.
So let's Manamorphose and make blue. Or let's Manamorphose and make blue red, and then we can fetch with this strand for another blue if we need it. Because we might need to cast both a Bolt and a Looting.
Yep.
There's a Looting. Let's keep that. Now let's crack the strand and opt again to dig more for Phoenix.
Okay.
You almost always want to end with Looting in the chain, just to see the
most cards before you hit to that. Yep.
Looting is like your brainstorm. You want to make sure you find the cards you're going to discard. That's no bueno here. We need a Phoenix.
You sure I can't just double Bolt the Sorin?
Oh, we do have the bread flip. So we double Bolt the Sorin, leave them with 1 card in hand.
And 2 tokens.
And we have the Faithless Looting to try to find a Phoenix or a Drake.
The problem is we're like have a hard time getting the Phoenix into play at that point.
No, not really, because the Looting flashes back. So we have 2 spells there, and we just need to find a 1.
Okay, yeah. Let's kill the Sorin.
Yeah,
I think so.
Not in great shape, but
could be worse. Hey, High Speed Run, thanks for the 8 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. So fun story. For a year and a half during grad school, I only had a Chromebook for a laptop, and those don't have F keys, so I had to rebind my Moto keys to not F keys, so I got used to that, and then now all right, so you're saying there's a chance. I ditch these 2?
Yeah, ditch the lands.
And then cast this for red?
Yep. You're really bad at drawing Arclight Phoenix.
I am, yes. It would definitely be a skill that I should try and work on.
You're really good at drawing it in the deck that could never recur it.
It's funny because it's true.
I would Thought Scour first.
Yep.
And we're probably just going to flash back to Looting in the yard. I would just flash back. What did we hit?
No birds.
Yeah.
We're literally through half the deck with no birds. These 2?
Yeah, I would discard. We're definitely discarding the Canal. We're definitely keeping the Opt. Question is whether we want maybe we want to Izzet Charm one of the tokens because we're 4. My guess is we're dying to a Bolt next turn.
I'm gonna do that just because like if they don't have the Bolt, like this technically gives us another turn killing a token, and like gives us the option to loot for 1 more mana still too.
What's your F6 key?
F.
That makes sense.
It's F6, F2, cancel. Or cancels this one. Oh look, we died to the Bolt. You know, if you can see into the future, you're really squandering your talent playing Magic the Gathering.
I found it very easy to see into the future with Magic by just imagining what the worst case scenario is every time. Surprisingly effective.
Alright, so
Ral,
Anger.
Yeah, I like the Angers and I like the Spell Pierce.
Okay. Axe out.
Yeah, the axes. Well, the axes do kill Reveler. I think I would just cut the gut shots.
Okay.
And
just like leave an axe in?
Yeah, leave in the axes and cut the chart, of course. That's usually the next card I go to cut.
Okay.
The Izzet Charm has some functionality, like if they have planeswalkers and countering things. Maybe we cut the Izzet Charm.
What's going on, Digitech? Because this is kind of like a card advantage matchup, right?
Yeah.
Any merit for an Abrade or 2 because of potential ensnaring bridge? I don't know. I don't know that we're necessarily a matchup where they're going to bring Bridge in, and like not all of the opponent's deck play that card.
Let's kill them with Rail if they bridge us. It'll be fun.
That's true. That card's really sweet. Alrighty then. Yeah, we don't want to Thought Scour them because they have graveyard synergies.
We also have Crackling Drake.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That card's so good against Leyline.
Yeah.
That card's also decent against Leyline. So is that one. It's almost like this deck was well built.
People with Graveyard Hate in mind. I think the worst part about Leyline for us is that it means we don't have our graveyard in this window. And I'm annoyed by that.
Boop. So lead on Morphose?
Yeah, I would Morphose into red-blue.
Do I want a red-blue or do I want a blue-blue? If I blue-blue, I'm like, not...
We haven't made a third land drop. Let's blue-blue. There's so many better things that could happen. Yeah.
Sweet. Start by killing this. Or do I just want to tempo it back to their hand? Well, I'm going to have to cast this regardless. I guess I could hit another cantrip. So I could, like, do these two to try and hit a cantrip to flip the thing. I have to give up the Arclight Phoenix if I want to Lightning Axe the Young Pyromancer.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid Lightning Axing just because of the card disadvantage in this matchup. And we have Gut Shots still. We cut the Gut Shots.
Yep.
So we just have Bolts in our deck.
Yep.
I'm thinking about maybe Visionsing. Oh, we can't double cantrip into the Bolt to kill the Pyromancer, then it's just going to die. I would just cast the two cantrips first.
Okay.
Thought Scour first. Like to see what happens. If we find a Bolt, I would Bolt before Visionsing.
Yep.
Just deal with it and then 7 them.
But even just like drawing another blue cantrip here is fine.
Yeah. Now you're drawing all the Phoenix draws. Let's just Visions again. Yeah, now we've got Visions.
That's not terrible. I just top. I think I topped up here, right?
No, I would bottom that because we have the Ral and the Phoenix. We have enough threats. We need to find lands.
Okay, so I've been bottom both of these?
No, I keep the Bolt.
Okay.
Because that's what's going to kill the Pyromancer on the way back down.
Okay.
So now we're just bouncing to their hand and tempo them and set up for next turn with the Scry. Find a fourth land.
Pinky, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I am still in Roanoke. I am coming to you live from Ross Merriam's apartment. Do I keep the anger just in case they have a souls?
Yeah, I kind of like keeping the anger.
Just like push through all their stuff here. I feel like a little bit bad if they like have Fatal Push here, but outside of Fatal Push, like those are pretty good keeps.
Yeah, if they just the only thing that's really bad for us is replay Pyromancer, push your thing. That's not even the worst. They'd be down to 3 cards in hand. We have the Bolt for the Pyromancer. Looks like that's what they have.
Shut up. They're just going to play a discard spell. Yeah, they're dead!
They don't even know.
They are almost dead. Not quite. Going to 1.
Yeah, I assume they'll take the Bolt. But we're going to...
I have this cheap headset mic that is around my head. Around my neck here. Yeah, there's a lot of snow. This is TV's Ross Merriam, Jeopardy Superstar.
That's a stretch. You take the Bolt.
Let's give him a little boop here.
Now they're pretty much on Lingering Souls or Removal Spell, and if they just have Removal Spell, we just need a land.
Yep.
Nice Leyline of the Void.
Yeah, right. This was actually like a really impressive game. Like they had their card that's like theoretically their hate card against us on like 0, and like.
Yeah, you should not be boarding in Leyline against Izzet Phoenix. You should be doing.
Okay.
This is not a good card. Nor should you be bringing Rest in Peace. Surgical is fine. Relic and Nile Spellbomb can be okay, but they're still awkward.
Yeah.
Like theoretically, those are the graveyard cards you bring in when they're only a light graveyard deck because they can't drip. Like they still function and don't put you down a card.
Yep.
But it's it's so awkward to get them to work as a graveyard hate card against Phoenix. They
Okay.
have to constantly leave up mana.
So, because they're on Leyline Zone, they might be mulliganing for them. Is that a reason to trim my Lightning Axe since it's card disadvantage?
Yeah, I sometimes trim a Phoenix too against people that go hard.
I like
Leyline.
I like that Phoenix blocks the stupid.
I wouldn't cut both axes still because you still need to deal with just bring the charm back in, I guess. Maybe surgical can't be good against them.
No, I don't think so.
Good.
Yeah,
And
this
the
is
rest of our
probably
side
fine.
isn't great against them.
Scavenging Ooze, yeah, Scavenging Ooze is fine against Arclight Phoenix. Like Ooze gains you health too, so like Ooze not only attacks the graveyard half of the deck, but it also like buffers you a little bit against the aggressive part of the deck that it's doing as well.
Yeah. Ooze is one of the best pieces of quote unquote graveyard hate you can have against.
Yeah, I've actually been winning this matchup with elves because I have 2 Scoos in the main and I bring in a third and a surgical, and like you have pressure, you just have to not die to Thing in the Ice.
Yeah, I assume you have some sideboard answers to Thing too.
3 Dismember.
Which also answers Drake, yeah. That is a good sideboard plan. What's this? I would play the island. But
Oh, you think I'm opting?
yeah. You just cast your spells. What if you find a Thing and you want to cast it on turn 2?
Okay, yeah, that's super fair. Alright, now I'm gonna fetch shock and opt anyways.
Yeah.
You're right though that I should have let on the island if we plan to opt.
Yeah, the damage not too relevant.
Yep.
Bottom.
I say I'm likely to hit cantrips or lands way before this, right?
Yeah, let's fire out Manamorphose.
Because I could hit a looting and then put the bird into play, right?
Yep.
Just blue-red?
Yep.
And I'm going through both of them, right?
Yeah, if you need to. Yeah, I guess you're going to have to. See, there's our land 4, and it's the best one.
Because if we get Izzet Charm or Chart of Course here too.
Yeah, or we can hit cantrip into looting. Bricked.
That's fine. We're just gonna play our cards on 4 and whatever.
Yeah, in these matchups, it's fine to just cast Phoenix. If they have to kill it, you can buy back later.
Am I still super strict on my modern submissions? I don't know what super strict means. I think actually the donation queue is going to be open again for Modern after today, so that's something I should post in the subs Discord. So if you're interested, yeah, I think so. Yep, definitely. So if you're interested in submitting decks for Modern, they're open for $10 donations again. So feel free to put submissions through using the form on the site.
Mulligan last game too.
They gotta find their ley line, man. They need their hate card.
Yeah. Okay. Aggressive crack of that fetch suggests no fatal push if they don't play another fetch land on this next turn. The K command.
Oh, you know what? Am I supposed to have played the? Are they K commanding me? They are K commanding me.
It's 2 damage. Discard a card.
I just discard a land, right?
Yeah, let's discard the strand. Okay. Getting a little antsy there.
How would you describe the Gift Storm matchup? I've had success piloting and Storm in different iterations of mono red, but about 50-50 with blue red. Any tips? Is this deck good against Storm? Or is it close?
It's behind.
It's behind? Okay.
Yeah, they're spell-based combo and big mana are the things that I generally fear. Although you're better against Tron than you are Primeval Titan.
Did I just anger here and play Tepline?
Thing is, they didn't have a discard spell here, so they don't have 2 discard spells. So why don't we just play Crackling Drake?
Okay.
Anger them next turn.
Fair.
That could get awkward if they have Fatal Push.
It gets awkward if they have Lightning Bolt.
Well, we're not going to block.
Well, anger will make this take 3.
Yeah, die to Lightning Bolt. I would still play it.
Alright. So, if they attack, I think I just block, because that attack signifies Bolt, and I'm going to lose it to Bolt anyways.
Well, now we drew Spell Pierce, so we might not lose it to Bolt.
That's true.
Play spells.
General Snarf, thanks for re-upping for the 2nd month in a row. Welcome back.
They did not attack.
Alright, so they have Stone Cold nothing. I just play Phoenix and attack them.
No, I think I would play Thing in the Ice Anger.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
We can't stop a Bolt or a push with the Spell Pierce anyway.
Yep.
We're...
Might as well get my extra point in, get my counter off my other thing.
Yep. And attack for 4. Sometimes bouncing Drake with Thing in the Ice is weird, but I've also bounced a Spell Queller with a Thing in the Ice, or with a Crackling Drake under it with a Thing in the Ice. That was sweet.
Seems good. Phoenix hit you for 7?
I think I would just... Isn't that gonna... Thing is, that's not gonna kill them next turn.
Yeah, I guess that's fair, so I just anger.
Yeah, I think I would just anger.
I actually anger into Manamorphose, and then if I
just hold up the Pierce still.
Think so?
Yeah, there's no reason to rush it. We're almost assuredly not binning them.
That's fair. I guess we're not dealing that much more damage regardless, because the Crackling Drake would come back.
And another Pyromancer. That's fine.
I don't even, so like, Unlucky, I listened to the stream compared to the other ones, and the microphone definitely sounds... The microphone definitely sounds different, but I don't even think this microphone really sounds bad compared to what I normally use. Love the YouTube stuff. I love how you interact with chat, but it's refreshing and interesting to watch you talk about the game going on and really focus on that. Thanks for the feedback, Avid Davis. Yeah, I think I'm going to be adding some regular YouTube-only content into my schedule. Like, I'm still going to be doing, Twitch 4 to 6 days a week like I always do, but I think making time to do like 3 to 5 leagues. The word is branch. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, it's just different. I agree.
Keep this for sure. They mulled a 6 again. Your opponent's a mulligan a lot. That's nice.
That's the key to winning at Magic the Gathering for us. Start with more cards than your opponent. Down to 5. God bless you. Now they're going to play a Bogle. Seachrome Coast. Add-on Sam, right? Probably. So, opt on one?
Yeah. You have a pretty aggressive hand. Oh.
Sure. Do I just bolt this now? Or do I give him the chance to counter the opt?
I would. I mean, I think I would have just opted in response, but...
Nah, man, it's fine. This is a Doomblade, it's okay.
Can't just give your opponent options like that. Top.
Cantrips are cantrips are cantrips.
Yeah. Maybe topping. Topping. No, I feel bad about topping that. I'd rather just dig towards a 3rd land for this thing.
That's fine. We're going to see a lot of cards.
I mean, they were just blue-white spirits on 5 cards and 1 land.
Do you think blue-red Super Friends could be playable? I don't know. Like, being a control deck with just blue and red cards in Modern leaves a lot to be desired. Savage Rocker, 7 months and still going. Thanks for giving out enough content that I never get bored. Thanks for the 7 months and the tier 3 resub at that. Be sure to drop me a submission using the Google form. Let me know what you'd like to see. Will the offline leagues be Modern only, or will there be... Oh, that's really good.
Got him.
All right, so I lead on Serum Visions, right, because I'm digging for a specific card?
I would lead on just the gut shot, so none of the other things get interrupted.
Oh, that's true. I think I'm going to probably... Mathematic, thank you for the 9-month resub. I think I'm probably going to focus on Modern for the offline content for the time being. And the reason for that is the viewer numbers for Modern on Twitch are a little bit lower anyway, so I can kind of get like the best of both worlds. Like, I can still do more Modern content, but not have my Twitch numbers be better while still doing more of it. So just
both.
Yeah.
And then cast the Faithless Looting. That's your
because yeah.
If you find a land, you can also transform the thing and 10 them.
Is that good? Ding, ding, ding.
Sure. Play opt.
Ross, do you bring in Dispel against removal like Push Bolt Path decks? I think it probably depends on the Push Bolt Path deck. Like, Jeskai Control, Dispel obviously comes in against, right?
But not like Jund.
Yeah, something with more creatures in it.
Yep.
Just like all the removal spells?
Yeah, you just bring in those 5 cards. I don't bring in Dispel against them. It
Yep.
just gets awkward to leave up. You do get to leave in the Izzet Charm. Cut the chart. You cut the 2 Thought Scours. Gets awkward against Postport Thalia. And cut the Swiftspears. Not good against creature decks.
Okay. Man, that's super clean. It's always funny. I can always tell when like somebody sends a deck and they thought about it. 'Cause, like you go to sideboard and you're like, oh, all of the things line up. And this is just like a good example in general. Like people often talk about how they have a hard time sideboarding, and a lot of the times if you have a hard time sideboarding with something, it generally means the deck's not built well. And one of the best ways you can figure out what cards you want to put in your sideboard is kind of go through your matchups and figure out what comes in and what comes out where, and that kind of tell you if you have too many cards or not enough cards for a specific matchup in your sideboard. I think the Stream Decker's current. All right, enjoy my sponsor page for a second while I confirm.
In general, people they have this idea in their head that the worse the matchup is, the more sideboard cards they need for it. But the decision there is more complex because you're limited to 15 cards. There's an opportunity cost to every single card you put in your sideboard, and then there's an opportunity cost to boarding it in based on what you're bringing out. So even if the matchup is bad, if there's maybe it's not salvageable, that's pretty common. But also maybe there's not a lot you want to bring out. Maybe you get significantly better with some minor changes. And I would have just got Steam Vents there. You have so many red cards in your hand.
Oh, that's fair. Demox, thank you for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that there. Welcome back.
If you get a significant improvement from just minor changes, then you don't need as many sideboard cards, and then adding more might be suffering from a lot of diminishing returns.
I keep both of these, right? This is like perfect because unless they Thalia me, I get to go Morphose into looting into opt.
Yeah.
Or Morphose into opt into looting, so that way I can get deeper.
Yeah. Or if they play a Supreme Phantom or something, you Morphose into bolt into looting.
Yep. Yeah, something like that. I think that so one of the things when I played that terrible Blue Red Wizards deck, people are always like, you have so many removal spells in your sideboard. I was like, yeah, you have to cut all of your counter spells against humans. Like you have so many counter spells in the main, you're just like, you need to board all these cards out. Alright, well, I know what our turn's doing. And remember, just because your cards are instants doesn't mean you have to play them at instant speed. Let's not get Spellcrawler and just go ahead and do this now.
It's possible we were supposed to bottom the looting because we had the axe. And we could have just axed here, discarding the Phoenix, and then...
That's fair. Okay.
3 spells next turn. Now we don't really have a good way to utilize this axe.
Bison attended my first GP in Portland and brought my Hoagland favorite Grishel brand to 10-5. Nice! 10-5 is a good record at a Grand Prix.
And now we're in a little... Seeing that not having 2 red sources here ends up being very awkward against.
Because I can't looting and then axe the thing. So I need to lead on Manamorphose and get Spellquellered.
I'm not even sure I would do that. I think I would... Because then they can just untap and have company or another queller or protection. This is a spot that gets awkward against them. I think I would opt and just try to hit a 3rd land.
Okay.
That's awkward. Now we just have to pass.
Pass, yep.
You don't want them... The situation against spirits that you want to avoid is where they untap with some pressure and then still have disruption.
Now I axe Spin Phoenix here in a turn.
Yeah.
So I just really don't want this one to be countered because if it gets Spellquellered, I have to discard another card for it to happen.
This is also where Abrade can get awkward as a 2-mana spell. One of the reasons we cut Chart is because we're bringing in more expensive cards.
Okay. I wonder if they're blue-white.
Oh yeah, we say play Coast. We knew they were blue-white.
Oh, does the other one not play Seachrome Coast?
Yeah, it plays 2 Botanical Sanctum.
Okay. So, since I had another Phoenix, I'm just going to go ahead and Morphose here. I just don't really have anything else to do.
Yeah. Hopefully they let this resolve.
Make red, if they let it resolve. Read.
Would have been awesome if they let it resolve when we drew a land. And then went for our Faithless Looting, and then we Abrade, and cast Faithless Looting. Ugh. One thing that's important to note against Spellqueller is if you can cast a spell and they quell it and then kill the Spellqueller, that's 3 spells because you cast it twice in that turn.
Yep. So I just go ahead and Abrade this now, right?
Yeah, because you can't even cast the Manamorphose if you kill the Queller.
Yeah. Yeah, so worth noting there for people that are familiar with that rules interaction is that when you kill your opponent's Spellqueller, even though it says you cast the spell for free, you still have to pay taxing effects like Thalia. So if we Abraded the Queller, we wouldn't get to Manamorphose there because we couldn't pay for the 1 extra.
Now we're in great shape if we get to kill this Queller.
Yep.
And if we don't, we're in rough shape. a land, we play the Crackling Drake as another Queller test.
I think so.
Let's see what they do.
Oh, well, now
tapping up for Geist
is really good for us. I think I still just Abrade, right?
Yeah.
If anything bad happens, I can bolt in response.
I would make red, blue.
Find another Phoenix. Rats. I think I do this, and then play a tapped land.
Yep.
That's 3 spells, right? Yeah, Braid, Manamorphose, Bolt.
Yep. So we're getting 2 Phoenixes.
Yeah, do I leave one back on defense to like bait a Path to Exile so the Drake can stick? I guess I'm technically winning the race, huh?
Well, if they have Path, then like. So say we attack with both and they Path. They go to 16, we go to 9, and we play this Crackling Drake. And then we have Bolt Gutshot up for other things they do. And the Drake is 8. So we would attack them to 16 and then 13 and then have 11. But we would have 13 by casting our 2 spells, even if we had to kill 2 creatures. So, and that's when they have us at 3.
I think they're more likely to Path if I leave one back than if I attack.
I think they're pathing regardless.
You think so?
Yeah. And if you leave, I guess if you leave one back against Path, it's the same thing. But if they don't have Path, then it's you just get to block the Geist and be good.
Yeah, I think it's better. Yeah,
because there's no way they just path the attacking one.
Yep, yeah, it would be pretty bad. Unless they have 2 paths, in which case if they burn both of those, sign me up.
Nothing we do is going to change anything. I guess if they have 2 paths, leaving one back means they can hold the other path and then they'll get our Drake, and that's the worst case scenario. But
we need to pressure them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach, my flight back was always Tuesday morning, regardless of weather, because I'm cheap, and it was cheaper to wait.
Okay, we'll bolt that to save damage.
So we go to 9 here, we untap, we play a Drake, they have 1 card left. And then, I think at this point, we'll see what we draw. We're probably far enough behind that I want to be a little bit conservative and leave the Phoenix back, right?
Well,
although I guess
dead if we attack with it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Are they dead? If they have a blocker, that's rough. So I think it's okay to be conservative with them on.
This is 2.
This is 13 if we cast the Gutshot. We get them to 13 with the attack, even if we Gutshot a blocker. But if they play like another Captain, we still get to block. They would need a Path, which they might have cast this turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. I think because if I draw a cantrip, I get to do my.
We have a looting.
I have looting the bin. Oh, we should be fine. Yeah. Looting should
we're
pull us.
ahead enough that I think we can play conservatively.
Looting will pull us across the finish line.
I mean, the Drake and Gutshot and Phoenix might kill them next turn. We might get 3 extra damage anyway.
Yeah, I think blue black mid range is fine. We played that deck on Wednesday before I left, and it felt really good.
So we have a Gutshot for that, but they're gonna. I assume they were copying Crackling Drake across the card. I was going to be glad that they kept the image copy, but we still can't target it, so they're literally the same thing.
All right. Yay, Magic Online.
Flashback of Faithless Looting.
I don't think it really matters. I'm just gonna cast some spells.
I'm just worried about. I would have kept the axe, like if they have a Queller.
Oh, that's true. That's fine. This is a no justice stream, in case you're unaware.
Yeah.
We don't get punished for things like mistakes around these parts.
Just keep the Greek, I guess. No, just keep the Gutshot in case they have a Rattle Chains.
Yeah, rattle him, baby. This is lethal.
Yeah. No, they're gonna have to.
Dead you. All right. We are truly skilled magicians.
Crackling Drake, 4 mana, suspend 1, win the game.
Yeah. Okay, yep, that's basically what it's been every time. It's like Niv is in Standard. When you untap with it, you win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the Enigma Drake was a card that felt close in a couple of decks that we played, but you just, like, got hosed by graveyard hate. It's just like that extra clause where it's just like, there's no hate card for it. You have to actually kill this creature that cantrip.
Yeah. Oh, this is a new matchup, okay. I was worried about having to beat Thalia again with this hand. Okay. One is dredging.
So we want to dig for Thing in the Ice?
Yeah, Thing. You have to fire off Thing as quickly as you possibly can in this matchup in game 1. And there it is, bottom that Drake. It is not fast enough.
Why do you only play 3? So your deck has a lot of cantrips in it, and there's a lot of matches in Modern where a 4-mana sorcery speed threat like isn't what the matchup is about, and the matches where a card like that is good, you generally have more time to find it with your cards that draw cards.
Yeah, the Swiftspears are like the third threat that is better against linear decks, and the Crackling Drakes are the third threat that's better against fair decks, and you'll see us like board out Swiftspear against like the fair decks that have creatures. At least a lot of them, like humans and spirits, and you'll see us board out down on Drakes against the combo decks because they're just like turn 5 is not good enough, and that's the fastest that they do something.
Do you accept suggestions for the Modern list on your website? So the Modern list on my website are all decks that are based on decks that we've played here on stream before, so generally I update them after we replay the deck lists on stream, and I have better thoughts and opinions on them. I don't make edits to the decks without having played them recently.
They don't have a second land.
That's really good for us. Their Shriekhorns have not been kind here.
I mean, even if they had dredges, they need to draw a second land. Otherwise, like, their Bloodghast never do anything, and they're just...
Yep. And they don't have a green source, right? So they can't even just hit the... whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Or the Dakmor salvage.
Don't play a land yet, because we're not sure if we're going to loot it all, and the mountain might come at the end for the looting.
What if I just fetch Basic Island and lead on Serum Visions off of that?
Yeah, you could do that if you're drawing... Yeah, just do that. Yeah, I was like... A lot of the times on turn 3, I'll wait to see if I hit a canal, but our mana's perfect.
Am I supposed to lead on Opt? Because if I hit Manamorphose, I could flip the thing?
So that is better for transforming Thing this turn.
But it's worse for putting Phoenixes?
Phoenix, but only slightly. And what is better? If we find Gutshot, we can still transform the Thing, but we don't really want to draw a Gutshot. Yeah, let's Opt. Let's try to transform the Thing and kill them. It's only marginally worse for...
Yep, and we want to capitalize on them stumbling. Go away. Damn it, Moto.
At this point, with them so slow, Drake might actually be good. Like a second threat against Conflagrate is good.
That's true.
So I'm not even that mad about a Drake here. I was almost going to keep it. I'm glad we bottomed and drew another one anyway.
No justice stream, Ross. I told you.
Yeah, let's bottom both.
And probably just casting their Serum Visions, right? Because at this point, I'm looking to set up for next turn.
The awkward part here is that like you want to play Drake next turn, but you still haven't transformed Thing.
Oh, so if I looting,
we should have kept the Manamorphose. Oh no, did we just bottom that Manamorphose off that second cantrip?
Yes.
Yeah, we should have kept that.
So I could Morphose into
the Drake.
Okay. So at this point, do I looting thing?
No, we have enough cantrips that we can go for Phoenix later in the game anyway with just Visions.
Okay. And if I find a Gutshot with this, I just keep it now.
Yeah, Gutshot or Manamorphose I would keep.
And I bottoms up here then. So I try to find one of those two cards?
Yeah, we have enough cantrips.
If I have an Arclight Phoenix standard deck, would this be a decent deck to get into Modern with? Yeah, definitely. I think this deck was actually, this archetype was one of the best performing archetypes on the weekend. So if you're looking for a competitive Modern deck and you like the way the Arclight Phoenix deck plays in standard, this deck plays in a similar manner with just like more powerful cantrips.
They drew a second land, but it's the second mountain.
So it doesn't really help them because they can't cast Faithless Looting. I'm going to pull the blanket up here. It's getting a little cold.
Next thing I know, Jeff's going to be telling me we have to huddle for body heat.
Listen, if they find more chills this turn, Ross, don't put it past me.
Oh, wow. They're trying to set that up, and they can't even kill a 7/8.
Not with that attitude, they can't.
They're probably going to be forced to use the Conflagrate next turn, so I wouldn't play the Drake.
Yep.
I would just transform the Thing and dig for some Phoenixes.
Yep.
A little awkward that we're transforming Thing the turn before they maybe start putting things onto the battlefield, but we'll be fine. Thought
Scour gives us the best chance at a bird, right?
Yeah. It's an extra card towards Phoenix. Now opt. Don't need a third looting for sure.
Nope. Hey!
Finally!
Look at that. There's birds in my deck. Ayo! Alright.
Now we're getting them to 10.
Driving in my car, beep beep.
Modern is easy when your opponent doesn't do anything.
Magic!
Though to be fair, like this hand transformed a Thing on turn 4, and brought back 2 Phoenixes, and we have 3 pieces of disruption in our hand if our opponent's a creature deck.
Yeah, so like even if they were doing things like we have Stiff.
Yeah, we would have been behind against a spell-based combo deck or big mana, but that's just always the case.
How life goes.
The deck is very good against the creature decks. Spirits can get a little tricky. Actually, both spirits and humans. I think I've actually struggled more with humans than 1-2 in that matchup.
Reflector Mage is probably tough.
The spirits decks all have Reflector Mage now too. Almost.
Oh, okay.
They've moved to 4 Reflector 2 path. The humans deck just has like more disruption. Main deck Thalia is really good. Sometimes Freebirder and Meddling Mage just shut you off with spells.
They had 2 Narcomoeba, but 3 What did they keep? There were 3 Narcomoebas in their hand.
I mean, they probably drew them off some of the natural laws later too.
That's fair.
They just attack for 7 and bolt them. You can bring back the Phoenixes too. I don't know, just to show them what's what. But this will get them to concede. They have the basic forest in their deck. That's
Yuka Hall, thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So when does Ross return the favor come to my place for a couple? I don't think Ross probably gets enough middle of nowhere here in Roanoke.
So we got 2 Angers, 2 Surgicals, and the Pierce.
Just because countering Conflagrate is important.
Yep. We're cutting the gut shots. They're bad, and the lightning axes.
I like a man with a plan, Ross. All right, let's do it. Do you already know what you want to play in tomorrow's standard stream? I'm just gonna be starting at the top of my deck queue, Monastaff. So pretty much everything I do is just like from the top of the deck queue down these days. Occasionally, like when I had the event coming up, I was like putting in decks that I was gonna be playing at the event a little bit higher, but pretty easy mulligan here.
Yeah, this is not good.
I've played against Mono Black Banefire twice, and then Bant taking turns. You've ruined the ladder. Apologies.
Awkward, but a keep. Both basic mountains, and they don't even match. What are you doing with your life, Jeff?
Sir, just be happy they're not whiteboarded.
We do get to turn to this Phoenix, but it's awkward with the anger in our hand.
Do I even want to turn to the Phoenix at that rate?
Yeah, probably not, but we need to dig towards another land. I would not play the looting here.
Correct.
Looting is like Brainstorm and Legacy. You just want to hold it as long as possible until you have cards that you definitely want to discard.
What do you think about Bridgevine? So Bridgevine's one of the decks in Modern where it beats itself more than its opponent beats it. It's just like one of those things where like when all of your pieces come together, it's like really good, but there's enough of the time where your deck just like doesn't work that it has a pretty high failure rate.
Air draw is quite good.
Ugh.
They didn't hit any other dredgers.
Oh, did they not? That's really good for us.
Yeah. They do have the Conflagrate. So I
could be Phoenix then, right?
Yeah, I kind of want a Phoenix and then just have them Arclight it, and then we'll get to anger later. Soak up some damage here and get some damage in.
So we'll go blue-red here.
Yep. And
opt first.
Let's opt Charter Course. Oh, well, if we find a second Phoenix, maybe we looting, but I think I would keep that because we're probably going to have to bring back this Phoenix. They're probably going to conflag it.
Oh, that's fair.
And then chart.
I can't chart out of land.
Oh, this is turn 2.
Yep.
Forgot.
That's fine. So definitely the bird, probably this.
Events, yeah.
Just like our health total is going to be important since we got double chilled.
Second blue is kind of nice to have.
I'm excited, Jeff. I'm done with Modern tournaments a while, so now I can sleeve Voice of Resurgence because I don't want to win anymore. The true Voice of Resurgence call. That is TV's Ross Merriam. We imported him from Jeopardy.
They here. That's awkward. They also might not have a second red source. They played this. So they hit Bloodghast, Prized Amalgam, Narcomoeba.
Yep, double Bloodghast.
Jesus. Yeah, now we're in the awkward spot of angering away our own Phoenix.
Which is going to happen this turn, because we're going to die otherwise.
Yeah. I guess we could have... The fact that they play basic 4 should have clued us into them having... discard 2 Stinkweedums.
I am not still snowed in. I always had a Tuesday morning flight back. What's going on to Freak? Alright, some attack for 3.
They still have this conflag set up for whatever our next threat is.
Yep.
Not looking good.
They also have just like reach off of it, right? Once they dredge into a creeping chill or two.
Yeah, you'll actually find with Thing in the Ice and Anger, you can take care of the creatures, so the surgicals tend to target a conflagrate and creeping chill.
Okay. Just like try not to get burned out.
Yep. Which is...
Lythanol, one more month of this peasantry. Scrubbed GP Liverpool, but still had a great time with L's. What's going on? Thanks for the 11 months. Welcome back. You are just one more away there. We have Looting's a flashback here too, so I assume we're pretty dead this game.
Yeah, their draw was very good here. They went turn 1 Looting, turn 2 Cathartic, turn 3 Cathartic Looting.
Yep. Yep. They missed on the second Dredger for the first Cathartic, but we still had plenty just to power through.
Maybe if they were playing against a combo deck, they would have fallen behind and lost, but... Another fine hand.
This hand could be anything.
Yeah, I would get Steam Vents off this Flooded Strand to start.
Yep, cast Serum Visions.
Yeah.
Always remember when you're fetching a dual land tier, it's better to lead on Flooded Strand as opposed to the Scalding Tarn, because Scalding Tarn can get both of our basics, whereas Flooding Strand only gets Island or duels. So this leaves us a little bit of flexibility. Bottom?
I want the 3rd land because of the anger.
Okay, that's fair. Just want to guarantee that on curve.
Yep.
And like the Bolt in this matchup is only good for like bringing back Bird or killing them at the end, and we already have one of those along with some cantrips.
Yeah. Sometimes like after you anger them, you can kill an Amalgam and make it hard for them to bring it back on their second attempt or something like that.
I've noticed some lists run Jace for In's Prodigy. Is that because this deck misses a Snapcaster-like effect, or is it combined with more ways? It's a little bit all of the above. Like the double Bloodghast.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
So now we can play the Delta
and just pass, right?
Yeah. Yep. Just double cantrip on end step.
You think so? Okay. Yeah, I guess we need a way to get the Phoenix in the bin. The Jace is kind of a jack of all trades type card. Like it's not fantastic at doing any of the things that it does, but it's just like okay.
Basic Forest again. Do we have the Cathartic? They didn't have a Dredger though. So let's see what we hit off of these. Well, Thought Scour first for sure.
Yeah, so we get to make a decision with Opt. We have a little bit more information.
Yep.
That's not bad. Do I hold this now?
Yeah. Basic Mountain and Thing hold up Opt/Bolt.
Yep.
Anger them next turn.
That is Rosmarium next to me.
That is a good draw.
It's not bad. Helps us flip the thing over too.
Yeah, this is a situation where we might be in the market for targeting a Dredger. Like if they untap.
Yeah, because they're slow enough.
Yeah, we say clearly don't have one, so they might be holding a Cathartic as a result. So if they're waiting to draw one and the Cathartic discarded one Dredger, we just surgical that. They have Axe. That's gross.
Yeah, I guess they kept their hand for a reason. At least they're really good at drawing Narcomoeba. That's good for us.
Okay. And we'll go to 11. Why is our life total so low? I guess we dealt ourselves 5 damage.
Yeah. Yeah, we had Fetch Shock and then Double Fetch.
We drew a lot of fetches and no canals. Okay, let's Opt. Let's second main phase stop. Do you just have all the stops?
What? Not all of them, but most of them.
I would keep that. We're just going to anger next turn, and then it's good to have the Opt when we untap.
Fair.
Try to get this Phoenix. Now we can just get to cast it.
Yep. This will get Steam Vents end of turn probably. Keep our red count up, or do we want to Opt? Guess we might want to opt. Are they axing one of their own things? I think they're axing a Bloodghast here.
Discarding a loam. Now we have a decision to make.
Do I surgical the loam?
We have 2 cards in hand. Are they going to have a land for this Bloodghast? I think you surgical the loam. Just buys you so much time.
Yep.
It's awkward that this now makes their Bloodghast have haste, but let's see what the other 2 cards in their hand are. They must have just drawn that loam, because they would have discarded it to the first one. They say have a looting in their graveyard too. They just have 2 lands.
Tilt.
So
Let's take a peekaboo at how they sideboarded real quick.
I think they probably just did same 60.
2 claims just in case.
That is weird. And they caught a Shriekhorn and a Chill. No, they have all 4 chills.
Yep, 3 conflicts.
They probably just trimmed a Dredger.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see a Thug.
Moto is not dying. Why would WotC want to kill it? Buy your cards, lines are cheap. Yeah, Magic Online's not going anywhere. Magic Online is the only way to play non-rotating formats. Now is a good time to buy in because the prices are down because everybody's losing their mind. I think Arena is definitely the future of Standard and Limited, which in the long term could make the newer cards on Magic Online a little bit more expensive. But like as far as the platform as a whole going away, it's not going anywhere as long as it's making WotC money. I think I just opt. I want to opt to the turn, right?
No, I think we want to save it because we might need it to bring back this Phoenix. We're low on spells and we have enough mana.
That's fair.
So just get the Steam Vents. Well, this is the situation where you save it when you're later in the game and you have mana, but don't have spells. But early when you have spells but no mana.
That is exactly what I wanted for Christmas, Ross. That one right there. They don't even have 2 black. Oh, do I want to?
If you draw a Cantrip, especially Serum Visions.
That's fair. For question about monitoring Tron, I've been using Pulse of Marasa over Crucible of Worlds or Loam. The life gain is relevant. Yeah, it seems fine.
It's a tilt that you found a Conflagrate, but they're only going to have 3 cards.
Yeah. Yep, and they don't have Loams, so like the Conflict is like a lot less scary when they don't have Loams.
But this means if we block, we lose our thing. If we don't block, we're dead next turn.
I just bolt the Bloodghast, right?
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I think we have to bolt it, and they're doing all this stuff pre-combat, so they're not going to return. I guess the Bloodghast.
I think they're casting Sync Him, which would be incredibly good for us.
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy to see that. I'm just happy that they're taking cards. Yeah, that looks like what they're doing. They still have the Blood Crypt. No, they discarded the Blood Crypt to that Cathartic. So I don't know what the other card in their hand is, but it might not be a land to return this Bloodghast.
Which would be good. Yes, this is the Dredge player that's been hurt by Blood Moon too many times. They have the basic force in their deck.
And now we just get to block the thing, the Bloodghast. We don't even have to use the bolt.
Correct.
Oh, they don't even attack. Let's opt on instead.
I am ready to draw my Serum Visions and accept my shame.
Top that.
No harm, no foul. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I don't have a looting or anything in here, right? Nope.
I think I just rebuy the imp regardless, so. That is awesome.
That is very good.
Let's keep making blue-red then, because we have a use for red. And now we get to hold the bolt.
Let's draw another Phoenix.
Let's play that one.
Yep, dig. Max dig for birds. Would I recommend this over Wizards? I mean, if you want to play a good deck, I'd recommend this over Wizards. This deck, the objectively busted level on this deck is much higher than what Wizards is doing.
There we go.
There we go. Whee! Triggers.
Now they probably don't even have a way to. Oh, they have the Conflagrate to get things in the yard. So if they draw a card, they can Conflagrate us for 3, play a land if they have one, and Bloodghast. And that's not good enough.
Yep, because Bolt's fine.
Yeah, and we had Bolt even if it was good enough. If they draw life from the loam exactly,
we exile all those.
Oh yeah, we surgical those.
Yep. Yeah, I believe they're just dead. They'd have to have, like, looting into flashback looting, put all 4 Bloodghast into play.
They could draw a Cathartic Reunion and double chill us because we're at 6. They have an imp in hand.
Okay.
That's their
out?
Yeah.
We don't have anything to play around that?
Or Faithless Looting, flashback Faithless Looting. Do the same thing.
Yep.
But they have to. Or Shriekhorn hit actual double chill.
Oh, Shriekhorn. Oh, there's 1 Ghast exiled. You're right. So quad gas is not. It's all chill lines are the things that end us here.
Yeah, or some combinations of chills and blood gas that we can't stop. But an awkward game, but
a game nonetheless.
Is this our turn 5? Like we've played 5 land drops, right?
Yes.
Game feels like it was longer than that, but that's because there's just so many decisions and it was so condensed.
Yep. Yeah, this deck plays a lot like it's like a legacy deck with worse cantrips, right?
Yep.
It's okay, Dan, and I appreciate the loan. That's just how Magic goes sometimes. You should never go to a tournament expecting to do well. It's a good recipe for disappointment.
Go to a tournament expecting to play well.
No, I'm me, so I can't even do that. This is so sad. There's just this incredibly banned Magic card here.
Yeah, I bought it right before they banned them too.
That's so sad. This is what good pure Magic the Gathering looks like, chat, just in case anybody's ever wondering.
Who was it that argued that it should be unbanned in Modern?
Probably me.
Yeah, probably you. I think it was Shaheen.
I'm just, like, of the opinion that any of these cards that don't help kill you by turn 4 should just all be legal in the format. Because, like, if Modern's problem suddenly became, like, the things that are fair are too good, it's like, that's such a weird problem to have. I'd be okay with it being a problem for a while. You'd always fix it again later. Look at that! Apparently Mono Blue Tron is our great weakness.
Well, we could have won that matchup too.
That's true. If we would have kept the Lightning Bolt. Do you look at the top of your deck whenever you fetch first instead of draw? I don't know what you're meaning. Like if I fetch, like could I have not fetched? Maybe. I don't know.
I try not to look, but sometimes I do.
That was dig through time. KTK staple. I'm just like, I'm sad that they banned Dig and Treasure Cruise in Modern before people realized that Dig was better than Cruise, because they were definitely like they figured that out in Legacy with Omniscience really quickly, and I think we would have found something similar in Modern. Is Ross Merriam pro banning KCI? I don't know. How do you feel about fun?
The thing that gets me about KCI that I don't like and I think is bad for Magic is the weird, non-intuitive rules interactions that some of the loops use.
Okay.
I've been told that those don't come up that often, but watching the finals of the Invitational where Andrew just has a bunch of cards and it starts explaining to his opponent that he's dead, and then a concession happens, and the commentators are like, yeah, so there was a loop there, and they don't know that. Like, yeah, maybe you put it on them, like they should explain the loop every single time and just know all of them, but that being a thing bothers me.
But I mean, that was part of the reason do I keep this? I'm on the play, so I should mulligan? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd mulligan.
That was part of the reason why they banned...
Stop drawing basic mount.
Is there only one? No, there's two, right? Because they're different artworks. I mean, I could turn one of Phoenix with this hand.
You can. I think it's a keep, but...
That was part of the reason why they cited banning Splinter Twin, right? Because it was bad for camera, explaining to people that, why someone died. And then, the next tournament, Amulet Titan was everywhere.
I wouldn't looting here. Once again, it's Brainstorm.
Okay,
you
yeah,
can
that's
loot
fair.
next turn if you miss on a land, but...
If I don't have the third gut shot, would Noxious Revival be a decent... Speaking of KCI. Alrighty. These two?
Yeah. Let's mountain go. What does Dark Steel Citadel pass mean?
KCI.
Really? There's so many ones?
I mean, all the Dark Steel Citadels have so many ones, right?
Yeah.
They're just, all, mono one drop decks?
I'm thinking, Hardened skills.
Okay, so yeah, now this is likely scales. Could be traditional Affinity too still, but more likely to be Scales. Definitely Scales.
Well, we at least have good interaction against them, and we just discarded 2 interactive spells.
This matchup's probably okay. Thinking the ice is quite absurd.
Matchup is very good. Our draw is very bad, but matchup's very good. Okay, let's start making some blue-reds, and hope to hit some phoenixes.
Have you heard about my birds? I'm not very good at drawing birds, Ross.
Drawing drakes.
No, drakes. They're my people.
They seem like birds.
It just all sucks. It all kind of sucks. Do I like discard Gutshot, Steam Vents, cast Serum Visions?
It's either that or discard Gutshot, Serum Visions, and display the Steam Vents tapped and guarantee the Drake.
Okay, yeah, that's probably better. So I didn't really want to keep an interactive spell, right?
Yeah. It's really disappointing that we've discarded 2 Gutshots in a matchup where they're very good.
Yep.
But the mulligan to 4, because we double looting and didn't hit any Phoenixes, and mulligan is pretty bad.
Do you still like 2 Swiftspears in this deck?
Yeah. I think the optimal number between Swiftspear and Drake is more towards Swiftspear than it is. Like, I think it's like 2.3 to 2.7, but Drake's a little bit more powerful. Yeah, this is no bueno.
Drake's better against the decks that smart people like to play in Modern.
That is also true. Gotta make sure you can beat Brad Nelson. We are gonna get crushed.
We're just dead, right? Can I concede?
I mean, if they can't one-shot us, this Drake might one-shot them. You never know.
How are we ever going to one-shot them through Hangerback Walker? Alright, I drew a second Drake, so I'm gonna give it a shot here.
That's true, this Hangerback Walker is about to get big. They just throw away the Opal or the Citadel, and...
You can't put 0.7 Drakes in your deck? Not with that attitude, you can't. Yeah, you assume we're going to see them proliferate here. And like they have the Phyrexia's core too to like crack it, even after they put counters from Ravager onto it.
Oh wow! I didn't activate. Scales. Surprised at no Throne activation. They literally could have gone all in on their Inkmoth and forced a chump block with our Drake. Now they found Jar to make it even easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not winning that game.
Not. Oh. Alright, so this is the creature package again, right? Just these...
The Angers aren't actually good against them. Bring in the Rejections.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Rejection's very good in this matchup.
Yeah.
Chart.
Yeah, the Charts and the Charm can go...
Scour?
Yeah, Scour's like the Swiftspears aren't good.
Oh, okay.
So leave in 1 Scour.
Yep, seems good.
The Drakes are good because they block Inkmoth, and that's a really scary card. You spend the early turns interacting a lot, so then the Drake is a good follow.
Okay, so I assume the logic on, and this is why we favor Opt in general as opposed to Thought Scour, is because Opt gives us a wider range of keepable hands, right?
Yeah, it's also good at when you need to chain, better when you need to chain cantrips.
Okay, so it's better at powering up Drake and prowess and flipping thing.
It's a little worse at powering up Drake, but better at prowess, better at flipping things.
Oh, right, because with Drake it mills.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Better getting the spells for Phoenix, worse at finding the Phoenixes, but it's not that much worse. Like you see 2 cards instead of 3.
Okay.
Sometimes if you hit the Thought Scour off the looting, you can like Thought Scour into an extra like Phoenix, but like those things just don't come up very often and are overkill a lot of the time.
Okay.
I was a little surprised to see like, everyone like not everyone, but a couple people responded like, "Why are you playing 4 Thought Scour?" Because I was in the initial list, but.
Alright. I just put Arclight Phoenix in the play on turn 1, right?
Well, let's...
Did I keep that?
We're on the play. I think I would keep that and just play land go. And Arclight Phoenix on turn 2, hopefully getting to Gutshot something. And I might even wait another turn and do nothing. Well, now your Gutshots are horrible, except at killing Inkmoth Nexus.
And, Overseer.
Yeah, but they usually bring that one out.
That's true. So, do I do stuff here? I think I do stuff.
Oh yeah, hard skills is it's go time. We've got to. I think I would not bring this back yet because transforming thing is how you're going to win this game.
Okay. So do I ditch these two?
I would ditch Phoenix, Gutshot, and play Land Go.
Okay. And this is going to be an opt post thing?
Yeah, I think so. We're so light on resources, we
Can't afford to spin our tires.
Well, so Gutshot for a Nexus, if they don't have they have some things to stop that, but this might be a hand that can beat a heavy scales draw, because Thing in the Ice doesn't really care about scales.
It's a good pickup.
It's a little awkward because we're so low in cards, but it'll play. At least it's a 1-mana spell. Please don't dismember us, then we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. I wouldn't concede, yeah, we could hit 1,000,000 Phoenixes. Give it one turn. A couple skills dismember against our roll to 5. So, okay. Might be able to race that with 2 Phoenixes. I guess they have these.
Okay. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yep. We definitely weren't racing that with 2 Phoenixes when they have the module, because they're just making it a 6/6 next turn and then a 9/9.
Yep.
And making a 1. Draw Manamorphose. Okay, that'll play. Let's start opting and hope to find a land. That's not good. That's a land.
Okay.
Now let's find some more Phoenixes. And bolts. Abrade.
I think that's got about him, right? We just need to be aggressive.
I'm just like worried about. So we're gonna get an attack in for 10 here, and the Thing in the Ice becomes a card they need to chump, but they have the Hangerback Walker for that.
They also have Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah, they have Inkmoth. The thing is, they have Inkmoths to block the Phoenix. So like this is getting bounced. Actually, they're probably just gonna chump the Thing in the Ice
this turn. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we need to bottom that. Another Gutshot is really what we need. Okay, let's Serum Vision, or do we want to Serum Visions or hope to hit another Phoenix off this looting? I think we need to get lucky. Let's go for the looting.
How does it feel to be the designer of the key modern hotness? Did you pull this original core from somewhere?
Yeah, there were blue-red lists around. Like the major thing I did was add Crackling Drake instead of Battle Rippler.
Okay.
Those lists have 4 Izzet Charms, so I cut down on those. Yeah, this other thing is probably not flipping, so Serum Visions can find us some good things. Let's Gutshot them.
You think so?
Yeah, I think we have to start attacking.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Yeah, and I guess if they want to chump block the Thing in the Ice this turn, that puts them down to only 3 lands, which means this Hangerback Walker only comes in as a 3/3.
Yeah.
Hey, Petehead, thanks for the 27 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. So they're going to somewhere between 12 and 5. Feels like they're auto-passing. Nope. Yeah, so I assume we're going to see Inkmoth Fire up here, jump in front of the Awaken Horror, which puts that down to a 6/7. They go to 12, their thing dies. So I assume we'll see a... Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Just really wanted to serve up.
Yeah, it's a free jump blocker, right? Visions?
Flashback a looting now that we have a bad card to discard and use all our mana.
That's fair.
I'm a little worried about Ravager, and I kind of want to dig for a...
Yeah, we're just never beating that card, right?
Well, we have a rejection in our deck.
That's fair.
Maybe we Visions. You can also like find a Crackling Drake, which should be really good.
Okay, yeah, and then we want the land.
Yeah. Those are not good cards, though.
We drew an okay one, though.
We did draw an okay one. I think I would play this land because Crackling Drake is a really good draw.
Yep.
Mash for 3.
Do I bolt this to force them to crack this or take 9?
I think them cracking is bad for us. Maybe not, though. Just gives them a bunch of 1/1s.
I think that's like the route to live here, right? Because then like any bolt is lethal here, and I have looting to flashback. So like if their last card is bad here.
Yeah, I guess so. Like if we give them a turn, they're just gonna make that thing so big that
Yeah.
we have to start jumping.
Correct. Yeah, like the Awakened Horror like can't attack starting next turn if they pump it up.
Yeah.
Wow, Kent looks different. What's going on, Stack Size Biscuit? I imported a different Magic player this time, or actually he imported me. We're coming to you live from Ross's living room. Goalie, got to get back to work, but it was nice to meet you this weekend. Have a good stream. Thanks for the 3 months, Goalie, and all the support you've given here. It was good to meet you over the weekend, too.
Okay, they took
Well,
it. We have some outs.
That's fantastic.
We got 3 bolts left in our deck.
I think so. Yeah,
Ooh,
3
baby.
bolts. All right.
2 lootings, too. They also have to leave up Inkmoth, so if we find the other Gut Shot or a Lightning Axe, and they only leave up 1 blocker for the Phoenix.
Well, Lightning Axe is an out because we're only going to have 1 card.
That's true. Opal does not do a whole lot.
Extra Phoenix end up being lethal, too, depending on how they tap. Damn it. All right, so we have lightning bolts is what we have.
So they can only 12 us with this thing.
Yep, got three draws of the bolt.
I mean, Phoenix kills them because they can't block with both of them.
They
action.
They can crack this because they play Thronageth, so they have infinite blockers.
That's pretty good. So we just need to find a bolt.
Yep. Turby says.
I mean, is the Abrade going to do anything?
I mean, probably just more than land.
Maybe. Yeah, let's just keep it.
And I mean, we're not dead here, right?
Yeah.
I might as well leave this back so I'm not dead to a removal spell.
Yeah, definitely.
If we have another looting in the bin, so we get 3 more looks at what's it called next turn. What does Ross's shirt say?
I hate every capitalist I see, from bourgeois A to bourgeoisie.
It's hard to ghost trap Moto when you're not streaming. Yeah, the 8-whack was good. Yeah, the YouTube only stuff went well over the weekend too.
I guess we're probably not dead to a removal spell because their removal spell is a Dismember. Oh, but they have an Opal. So, yeah, we would be. Oh, but a Dismember wouldn't have killed Awoken Horror if we attacked the Phoenix, but...
Alright, you have a 12-12. I have 3 looks at Lightning Bolt. It's nice to meet you. You get people to donate money all the time. Are you the capitalist that Ross despises? No, our system is democracy. They're democracy points. Come on now, Cryptic Remand. It's right there in the name. We're not... we're dead to that, right?
Yeah, they have 2 Inkmoths. Oh, but they can't animate and attack them both.
Yeah, but they have 3 lethal attackers. No, they have 2 blockers. Because Inkmoth is lethal, and
the Servo,
the Hanger and the Servo are lethal. So that one does it.
Yeah, if they figure it out.
I'm going to make sure they attack with everything.
It's really good. We came very close to winning this game when they had triple Hardened Scales.
I Dismember for first thing in the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they hadn't had the Dismember, I think we would have. I think we would have made it.
attack with servo. Attack with the servo.
That's fine. We got the 3-2.
Okay. What were the top 3 cards of our deck?
That's true. Would we have done it? Oh, we were so close. We were so close.
The lightning bolt is always there.
Marty with the sub gift. You're the best. Thank you very much for the absurd support.
Yeah. Both losses absurdly close.
What was the first one? We died too. Oh right, the blue Tron. We could have had the bolt and killed them. All right. What were the 2 cards you changed for the Invitational, and were they good changes?
They were meh. They didn't really come up. I had an Engineered Explosives and a Rending Volley over the second Anger and third Abrade.
You know, Twin's not legal, right?
Rending Volley's good in the mirror.
Oh, look at you. Got the technology. Coming up in the mirror might be relevant. This was the best performing archetype this weekend across all 3 of the events.
And it also is very functional against spirits and
Oh,
humans.
okay, yeah, that sounds fantastic actually, right?
Against spirits, it's really nice because they often just wait to the end of your chain to get you the Wanderer, so you just save the Rending Volley to the end.
Okay, yeah, I get that. The last one uncounterable. Yeah. Hey, the Prime 69. Thank you for the 313 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here.
The EE was like me being scared of the card Death Shadow, having another out to it. It didn't really come up that often. Like sometimes it kills relevant things, though. I did pop it on 2 when I had an Awoken Horror on the battlefield. That was embarrassing.
How good would Delver be here? I think not very good. I actually think someone else mentioned this earlier and it made a lot of sense. So Arclight Phoenix is kind of like a playable Delver of Secrets. It's like a 3/2 evasive creature that like has haste, and like the fact that it's recursive is a big deal. One of the reasons why Delver kind of struggles in Modern is it's very squishy, right? So like the fact that Arclight Phoenix like comes back after it gets squished is great.
Swiftspear is also, I think, a better Delver in this deck. Like it on turn 1, uninteracted with, it does a comparable amount of damage, and when you draw Swiftspear on like turn 3 and 4, it sometimes it just immediately attacks for a bunch.
Yep.
You watched my semifinal match from Baltimore. Game 3 was on camera, and my opponent played a turn 3 Angler on the play, and on the draw, I played a Swiftspear, cast 4 spells, and recurred Phoenix, and attacked him for 8.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, and he was just like very dead. Just 1 mana 5/6 haste was very good.
Seems fantastic. How is Rail? Haven't played with the deck at all. So here's the thing that you need to remember, and a lot of people bring this up when we talk about other decks that have low land counts like this. So playing a 5-mana spell in this deck is incredibly easy, and this is why. So there's these 12 cards here that all say draw a card on them, and then this draws a card, and 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 these 4 draw cards. So that's 12, 14. There's 20 cards in here that draw more cards, not even before you count Crackling Drake as a 4-mana cantrip. So you see a lot of cards. So you shouldn't just like look at your land count and compare that to the spell that you're casting, but you should look at like how many cards you're seeing per game too as well.
Yeah, the first person to play a deck like that and think and uncover that piece of Magic Theory was Alan Comer. It was Turbo Xerox in the late 90s.
Yep.
It's this mono blue control deck that just played 12 cheap cantrips and then 18 lands, and you just cantrip for your lands early. And his theory was that for every 2 cantrips in the deck, you can trim a land. And we've become a little bit more reserved, I think.
Well, like the cantrips, some of them were better then, right? Like
his were not.
That's true.
Portent and
Sir, Portent can see 4 cards.
There's a predict that slow tripped.
Okay.
That one in his deck. Yeah, it was a weird one. So yeah, the deck does play like it has way more lands in it. The one Ral is just a really nice card that comes in and solidifies the control and removal heavy midrange decks, John Nabzan and things. Which are pretty good matchups, but having that one really powerful card to draw in the late game when they've spent a lot of turns using their creature removal and their stuff, maybe you've protected once or twice, and you just play this Ral, a card that's really difficult for them to answer. Sometimes the Jeskai decks or Azorius decks will have Celestial Purge in their sideboard, and that's a little awkward, but basically none of the cards you would have in that slot survive Purge, and they often have to purge things early, like Crackling Drake or Arclight Phoenix. And you have Dispels and Spell Pierce to answer the Purge. And
you just have so many cantrips. Like having one high impact card in the board like that means you're going to find it in a lot of the post board games.
Yeah, so it's just one card that solidifies those matchups. It also just comes in against Lantern and gives you a way to win the game without attacking.
Okay, yeah, that's funny because everybody hates Lantern control.
Though, and in that matchup specifically, you kind of have to find it early. Because they'll start milling you, and you go through your deck with cantrips.
Oh, and then he'll deck you?
Yeah, and he'll deck you before it'll kill them. So you have to be wary afraid of that. I actually had that come up against an Azorius opponent because I had to use the Ral initially to minus on a Baneslayer Angel. And then as the game's going on, I realized, like, I'm not going to have enough cards to kill them with the Ral emblem. But I was able to set up, like, one big attack with a thing to get them to 3 and then find the 4th bolt in my deck with, like, 8 cards left.
All right, sweet.
Easily.
I think I'm going to go ahead and call it an afternoon. I know it was a little bit of a shorter stream, but it's kind of awkward being set up on just one screen, especially when it's smaller than one of my 3 screens at my normal house. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and a big shout-out to Ross Miriam here, who's going to be doing some Twitch streaming himself at some point in the future. I'm sure I'll be hosting and coordinating with him like I do with Tannen and some of the other guys on BCW stuff, since they sponsor them and they sponsor my wonderful stream. I'm going to pull up the shill page really quick here.
Awesome.
So big shout outs to BCW, MTGO Traders, Cardsphere, Cool Stuff Inc., all those other ones have been doing formal shills today. We also added Neo as a new protein bar. Their stuff is great. I've actually been eating these all weekend because, as always, I try out my sponsors before I add them. So their stuff is good, and they have a nice good crunch to them. So you can check that out at bit.ly/Hugelbar. If you didn't see it yesterday, Hope STG Fun. Here is 1,500 for the standard Grixis deck you approved. Thank you for the bits, Yachidi. And I will be I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. My flight's supposed to land about 11:30 Central Standard Time, so I'll probably be live about noon 30, because Christy will be at Christy's at work anyways, and the kids are at school, so I'm not going to be able to hang out with them until after that anyway, so I'll be live tomorrow with some standard. If you didn't see it yesterday, I uploaded 4 different Modern Leagues that I had never streamed before, so I recorded them offline and uploaded them to YouTube. And I would love feedback from people that watch my normal live Twitch stuff, and if you liked the pre-recorded stuff, and if that's something I should do on occasion before in the future. So catch all y'all around later, and everybody have a good Monday wherever you're in the world.